All right, little Charles Mingus featured Kevin and Elliot as our soloists. Give them a round of applause. All right, we're going to move to the great guitar player, Mr. Wes Montgomery, and do a little piece that he wrote called the West Coast Blues. All right, that featured Nick on the tenor, Josh on the trombone, and Kevin once again on the alto, and Mr. Matt Reese on the trumpet. Give them a round of applause, please. All right, doing some nice, fine solo work. All right, our next selection is one of my favorite tunes. It's one of my favorite Sinatra tunes. And I don't know if you guys caught that HBO special. I had a two-part thing on Sinatra. It was really good. If you get a chance, you should check it out. But this is one of my favorite tunes. And for the last 2 years, we've brought this young lady out to sing with the group. And she's going to sing a little bit later with Jazz One. But this is our senior, Miss Cassie Majeski.
touch your hair and walk with me. All summer long we sang a song and strolled the golden sand. Two sweethearts and the summer wind. Like painted kites, the days and nights went flying by. The world was new beneath the blue umbrella sky, and softer than a piper man one day it called to you. I lost you to the summer wind. The summer wind.
All right. What's our next tune? Jeannine. All right. We're going to feature our lead alto player and computer genius, right? Somewhat? No? Okay. Anyway, here's Kevin. He's going to play a great tune called Jeannine. Kevin on the alto. How about Amy breaking the drums over there on the drum set? Jeannine. No mics. Center stage. Line it up. I'm really lucky to have these fine students up here this year. And this year I have a really good trombone section. Well, all sections are really good, but I knew ahead of time that these guys are going to be pretty good, so I decided to do a little trombone feature. So the great jazz tune Secret Love. Here's our featured trombone section. All right, we're gonna do our last tune. I always try to like do a little funk tune for the last tune, but I do need to recognize we have one senior in the group, and that is right, Mr. Joey DeFalco on the Barry sax. Give him a round of applause. Okay. He's been with me for 4 years now, right? 3, 4 years. Okay, he's been my foundation of the whole sax section. He's done a great job. He's going to Grove City. Are you going there with your sister? That's awkward. Okay. All right. Well, stay away from her because she cheats at board games. So, you don't want to do any of that. Okay. But yeah, thanks, Joe, for everything, and I'm greatly going to miss you. All right. So our last tune is Birdland. It's featuring a couple soloists. Who's our first one? JT, then where do we go? To Liam, then where? Matthew over there, and then another Joe. We have all these Joes in the band, and Joe on the guitar. So here is Birdland. Jazz Ensemble 2. Jack, you made it, man, all the way through. Good job, baby. Okay, nice solo.
Nice job, man.
Your musically, that was good. What? You don't need to vibe, right? I'm just leading up. Pickup fell off.
Yeah, but no, come up to the mic and do it, dude. Just do a little bit like that here. Yeah, dude, seriously, man. Do you need music or no? Yeah, here. No. No. I did. Hey guys. freaking amazing.
You have to have the little like.
It sounds so terrible.
You're playing it right, but it's supposed to just. You need to do like the little.
Did you wave to Grandma?
Playing on it, imitate.
Anastasia, stop that. What's up with that? Muscle, knock it off. All right, guys, all the way back from Chicago. Here is Jazz Ensemble 1 under the direction of Mr. Todd R. Steffen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Woody Herman. Thank you. That was an old Duke Ellington tune entitled Things Ain't What They Used to Be, and was arranged later on for the Woody Herman Big Band by a Youngstown State University alum, Mr. Dave Lalama. We have a theme going here, don't we? Dave Lalama was a great arranger, obviously. And that featured, who do we feature on that? Brendan Kinsler on the guitar. Brendan Kinsler on the guitar. David Inman on the tenor saxophone. We had Alex Giorgetti on the trumpet. Regina Munch on the trumpet. And of course, Alec G on the clarinet. Who else? How could I forget the most important person in the band? Greg Berkovich on the bass. Which you will soon find out is multi-talented. He can pluck things and also hit things. It's an amazing feat. Okay, things ain't what they used to be. All right, we're going to continue with a tune that many of you probably know. Written, well, not written by, but performed by one of the great flugelhorn players of our time, Mr. Chuck Mangione. And we have our own version of Mr. Mangione here. He's going to come down front. Mr. Reed Antonich. This is Feels So Good. Oh, you want to talk? Whenever you're ready. Reed Antonich on the flugelhorn. Jack Stoba, alto saxophone. Brendan Kinsler, guitar. What's next? Funny thing is, not funny thing, but amazing thing is, and I mean, I'll let them tell you, how much time did we spend on that tune? Yeah, like maybe 2 weeks, twice a week. That's right out of the Chuck Mangione book, man. That's the real thing. So give them a round of applause. I mean, what great musicians, man. This year we seem to be ravaged with sickness and late AP tests and field trips and people having to clean their ovens and people having to walk their goldfish and yeah, it's been thanks Nick, appreciate that. It's been a challenge, but you know what, they came through. You know, they've come through, and it's great to see. All right, we're going to continue. Actually, before we do that, why don't I introduce the seniors to you, right? We want to do the seniors, and we always tradition, and where they're going. So we'll start with the trumpet section, and we'll start with Reed Antonich, right? Going to Florida Tech for astrophysics. I don't even know what that is. And he's the only senior back there. Isn't that cool for me, right? All right. Okay, we're going to continue with, I'll tell you what, why don't we just do the trombones now, too, because we're going to bring up a wonderful young trombone player here to do an old standard, a new twist on an old standard, Bernice Yu. And Bernice is going to, excuse me, Carnegie Mellon. All right. Who else do we have back in the trombone section that's a senior? We got Maria Greenler, right? Maria, where are you going again? I can't find it this fast. Juniata College, majoring in chemistry. And for some reason, I mean, I always get real proud of these kids, too. I guess because they're going to do something very, very noble. Thomas Osheka, he was accepted into the United States Air Force Academy. Aim high, man. And he's doing something called aerospace engineering. I guess he's going to drive trains in space. I don't know. Good luck with that. Let me know how that goes for you. And the rest of them will be back, right, next year, hopefully. So, okay, let's continue with an old Tommy Dorsey tune. And this is an interesting twist on an old tune entitled, I'm Getting Sentimental Over You. Bernice Shue on the trombone. Okay, we're going to bring the lovely young lady that sang with Jazz 2 out one more time. And we're going to do an Etta James tune that you've probably heard on commercials entitled At Last.
Wrapped up in clover, and life is like a song. At last, the skies above are blue. Wrapped up in clover, and the night I looked at you, I found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I could call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to,
Cassie Majeski. Okay, we didn't do the saxophones yet, did we? So we have playing lead alto. What's your name again? Claire, right? Okay. Claire Tunning, she's going to the Pennsylvania State University for Music Education. And on second alto, we have Jack Stoba, also going to the Pennsylvania State University for petroleum engineering. So you're gonna fill trains full of oil. He's gonna fill trains full of oil. Petroleum, see what I did there? Jeez, oh man. And playing lead tenor, man, he's really sprung up here over the past couple months with soloing. Great job. David Inman. David Inman is also going to the Pennsylvania State University for computer science. Wow. And unfortunately, Sydney Black is not going to the Pennsylvania State University. In case you haven't noticed, we have a really good Barry player. I mean, if you heard her honking those notes out down there, man, that is, yeah. So Sydney Black is going to John Carroll University for clinical psychology. She's going to come back and mess with my mind. Okay. Okay, now in our rhythm section, one of our bass players, he's playing a lot of the electric bass stuff back there. You're about to hear him on this next tune. We have Joey Zubro going to the University of Pittsburgh for chemistry. He's going to mix chemicals too. All right, great. Remind me not to go anywhere near where you're mixing stuff together. Bass players and chemicals don't mix. I don't know why they don't. They just don't. All right, and who else do we have back in the rhythm section? We have Kate Falk, right, going to Michigan State University. Not the Michigan State. It's just Michigan State University for music education. Kate. You're coming back. Not you. And unfortunately, I have to say goodbye to my guitar player. You know, it's really hard to find a guitar player that plays jazz. And we have a couple of them here. You heard them tonight, but how about Brendan in that opening thing, man? That's, yeah. And he's going to the University of Dayton. He's going to be a flyer and majoring in engineering and music, correct? Minor in music. Oh, yeah, he doesn't want to major in music. We're just going to minor in music. What a great job, Brendan Kinsler. Who else am I missing? Is that everybody? That's everyone, right? Did I get LC? Okay. So those are my seniors. We're approaching the end. Not yet, though. We still have more stuff to play. Okay, we're going to liven things up a little bit with a Buddy Rich tune that I first learned about when I was in high school. My high school band director picked this tune, and this has stuck with me ever since. I just like the title of it, I think, but it's from a Buddy Rich book. It's entitled Big Mama Cass. Joey Zubro on the bass. Christopher Robinson, trombone. Sir Robinson. Jack Stoba on the alto saxophone. My man Dino Danello on the tenor saxophone. And once again, Brendan Kinsler on the guitar. Okay, 2 more left. Is that all right with you? Okay. Like I said at the beginning, which one of these soloists do I tell no? You can't play. They can't play for you because it's going to be too long. Which one do I pick, right? I mean, I probably could have had 2 or 3 more, and that's, you know, it's a wonderful thing about what I get to do here at North Allegheny. This next tune, as you can see in the program, was written for my wife, who passed away last summer, by a very good friend of mine, Mike Kamoff, who's a middle school band director in the Washington, D.C. area in Maryland. He's a fabulous jazz trumpet player. He has his own big band. He actually calls it the Mike Kamoff Little Big Band. You should check it out online. Actually, we're on there. He's commissioned a couple. We've commissioned a couple pieces from him. Actually, coming out this year in the Alfred catalog is "Well You Needn't," the tune that we played last year. I don't know if you remember that or not. It's going to be published worldwide in the Alfred catalog, so that'll be coming out soon. Whenever I wanted to have something written in memory of Kristen, he's the first person I thought of, and the first person that I thought that I want to play a feature on a tune like this is Claire Tunney. If you were at the winter concert, you'd heard her play "Against All Odds" by Phil Collins, and it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I can't wait for you to hear this as well. there's one thing, and I don't want to bring this down too much, but I've really formed a special relationship with this band this year for obvious reasons. They have been so supportive and so loving. I didn't think teenagers could be so caring and so loving and so attentive to someone else's emotions and feelings. If it wasn't for them, I'm not sure where I would be. Between them and my son Tyler, I don't know where I would be right now. I wouldn't be standing up here in front of you, I don't think. So I owe them and all the kids that I come in contact with at North Allegheny a huge debt of gratitude. Thank you guys so much. Please give them a round of applause. Because you know what? They're not just great musicians. They're great people. And they just don't turn out that way. Because they're raised by great parents. And so thank all of you for all of your hard work and support as well. Thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. This was always one of my favorite tunes. So, of course, you know, in my marriage, it was always about me anyway. That's a joke. You can laugh. It's okay. She's laughing. It's okay. This was always one of my favorite tunes growing up. You know, I always loved to listen to jazz. My dad and I used to listen to Frank Sinatra records when I was younger. I still have the 33 LP of Sinatra at the Sands, one of the greatest albums of all time, right? Yeah. And I have the CD, but I still something about putting that 33 record on that and hearing that. You know, I love that sound. It just makes me feel younger again, right? But you know what a record is, guys? Okay. Hey, they don't even know what cassette tapes are. All right, so, but again, I wouldn't want anyone else in the world to play this tune for me and for Kristen's memory than Claire Tunney. One of my favorite tunes written by Quincy Jones and arranged by a dear, dear friend of mine, Mr. Michael Kamoff. This is The Midnight Sun Will Never Set. Claire Tunney. Okay, we are ending our portion of this basketball game here, and we'll leave you on a happy note. How about that? This is our last tune. One of my favorite modern big band tunes because it really digs back into the past, written by one of the foremost jazz arrangers and composers alive today, Gordon Goodwin. And who are we going to feature on this one? I know we got Reed Antonich, right, on the trumpet, and David Inman, right, on the tenor saxophone again. And really, you're going to hear from each section individually, unaccompanied, which is very difficult to do, but they did it well. Some nifty drumming there from our sophomore drummer, Sawyer Smith. He's doing a great job. He's so young and playing jazz. That's a wonderful thing, man. And how about a shout out for our lead trumpet player back? He's back there working, and Joe Helgerman, right, on all the high stuff. I mean, anyone who thinks music isn't a physical thing, take a look at Joe's mouth when we're done with this, man. I'm being serious. You know, it's hard. And one of the things, guys, that I'm just super proud of is we were going to play 7 charts for you tonight. 5 of them are right out of a professional big band book. The exact same notes that the professional big band would play, including this one now. This is Gordon Goodwin's Count Bubba. Jazz Ensemble 1. Thank you. Thank you.